What is going on, everybody? How is everybody doing today? And a couple of days ago, I uploaded my reaction of Bleacher Report's top 20 NBA players in 2020 that they posted way back in 2015. And a lot of you guys really enjoyed that video. And most of you said in the comments you wanted to see me try to predict my top 20 NBA players in 2025. So that is what we are doing today. Before we get into it, this is really hard. It is really hard to predict who will be the top 10 in 2 years from now, let alone 5 years from now, because how many of these players aren't even in the NBA yet? I think we are going to see a huge generation change if we aren't seeing it already, just because 5 years ago or 10 years ago, or like 5 years ago, excuse me, if you said 5 years in the future, it's kind of the same guys that were right there in the top 20 that are still in the top 20 today. Guys like Curry, KD, LeBron, Kawhi, Paul George, Harden, like you kind of get the gist of that. So I think we're going to see a huge transition change in 5 years from now, and we are going to have a completely different top 20 just because the guys I just mentioned are going to be in their mid-30s. So they're probably not going to be in the top 20. So without further ado, let's get into this. So I actually have 8 honorable mentions. I just want to get out of the way because you could throw these in there. And also, this is so hard to predict. So if you're going to get mad at me for somebody not being in here or somebody below somebody else, are you a genie? Can you predict the future and know how it is in 5 years? I don't think any of us will be right if we made our list. This is just for fun. So I just want to get that out of here or out there before we start this. So I do have 8 honorable mentions. I'll just talk about briefly. So LeBron, he'll be 40 years old. There's a very, very small chance he's probably still in the NBA, but let alone a top 20 player in the NBA. But I just want to have him there just in case, because a lot of people thought 5 years ago he wouldn't be, and who knows, maybe if he's a top 20 player in 5 years from now, he's the greatest athlete of all time. So yeah, I have him in there. I have Kyrie Irving, who will be, I believe 33, 34-ish, around that time. Jamal Murray, he's going to be young still. He's going to be going into his prime. I just don't know if he'll be a top 20 player. James Harden, he'll be 35. It'll be very tough for him to be a top 20 player, but if you can rely on his just shooting in general, he could definitely be it. Jonathan Isaac, I thought he was just really close. I almost put him at 20 over this guy we'll get to in a second. He was close. He'll be very, very young, or he'll be like 27, I believe, at that time as well. LaMelo Ball, I wanted to throw somebody from the 2018 or 2020, excuse me, draft class in here. And I think LaMelo Ball has the biggest star potential, or the biggest top 20 player in the NBA potential, based off the top end guys. Like I don't know if I can really see Anthony Edwards or James Wiseman. Maybe they will. They definitely could in 5 years from now. But I just think LaMelo has the best shot if he takes that like Trae Young, Steph Curry trajectory. So the last two guys are Kawhi Leonard, who'll be 34, but if he's not even playing back-to-backs then, I don't know if he will be right now, I don't know if he will be in 2025. And the last one is Steph Curry, who will be almost 36 years old. I know he can just still rely on his shooting, but it's hard to say a 36-year-old will be a top 20 player, and LeBron's 35, and he's like a top 2 player in the NBA. But yeah, those are my 8 honorable mentions: LeBron, Kyrie, Jamal Murray, Jonathan Isaac, James Harden, LaMelo Ball, Kawhi, and Curry. So let's get into this top 20. So starting off at number 20 is Bam Adebayo, one of the many players from the 2017 draft class that will be on this list. He will be 27 years old, and I think he will be close to that top 20 player. He could be a more athletic, versatile Rudy Gobert on the defensive end from what we see from Rudy Gobert right now. I think he's going to develop as a passer. He's going to obviously develop as just a ball handler in general, and he's a really good one for a 6'10 center already. If he develops a jump shot, who knows? He could even be higher than number 20, but he's going to come in at number 20. Now, going over to another player drafted in that same draft class is De'Aaron Fox, who will also be 27. He's 22 right now. He's a fantastic player in his third year in the NBA. He's averaging 20 points, around 8 assists. If he just keeps getting better and better, he could already be in the top 20, probably in 2 years from now. And he took a huge jump from his rookie year to his sophomore year. And I think he took a jump this year as well. It started off a little slow. He was hurt. Kings weren't doing good. A little bit of drama out there in Sacktown. But I think he definitely has a good chance at being a top 20 player in 2025, and I have him in at 19. Now moving over here to 18, I have Kristaps Porzingis, who will be 28. Now this one, like somebody else on this list who will come in at 16, injuries might play a part in this. If he takes another big hit, like another ACL injury between now and 2025, I don't see him reaching that top 20 potential, but he's come along as of late in real life. As we saw kind of the first half of the year for him, He was rusty, as you would expect for somebody that hasn't played in over a year, and he's showing that he could be a consistent 20-8 guy in the NBA and shoot above average from 3 and be a good rim protector. If he develops, he's going to have a really good connection with Luka Doncic, and I can see him definitely being a top 20 player in 5 years from now. So moving over to 17 is somebody in that used to be in his same division, the Atlantic Division, when he was still in the Knicks, and that is Jaylen Brown. That was a weird transition there, but yeah, so or a weird segue, but yeah, I have Jaylen Brown, who's from the 2016 draft class. He will be 28 years old, and coming in at 17, it's mainly because I think he could develop into a really good two-way player, or at least, I mean, he's already a good two-way player, so I don't know why I said develop, but just like an elite two-way player, because yeah, if you're a top 20 in the NBA, you're an elite player, basically. You're not like maybe an all-MVP, or an all-MVP. Wow. You're not maybe an MVP type player, but you're definitely an elite player, and Jaylen Brown is definitely headed in the right direction. He improved massively from his rookie year to sophomore year, and is from his third year to fourth year, and I think he's going to be a very nice duo partner with Tatum for the next years to come. He has a great coach. He's in a great system. I have him in at 17. Coming in at 16 is Joel Embiid, and I would love to put him higher. If I knew Joel Embiid would be perfectly healthy in 2025, I'd have him probably in the top 5. 100%, because he will only be 30 years old in 2025. He's the best center in the NBA right now. He's a 25-10 kind of machine when he wants to be. Or he's arguably the best center in the NBA if you want to obviously have him with Jokic. But yeah, I think he has a very good chance of being a top 5 player in 2025 if he stays healthy, but that's what I don't know. A lot of people think he's a ticking time bomb and he won't play in the NBA past his 30s, so I don't know. So I had him at a safe 16. See if he's maybe dwindling down his career in 2-3 years from now. This would look dumb, but I want to be safe here just in case he's still playing at an elite level in 2025. So I have him here at 16. So moving over to 15 is my one and only player that isn't in the NBA at this moment, and that is Cade Cunningham. Now, Cade Cunningham is going to be in the 2021 NBA draft. He's a lengthy point guard. He's committed to, obviously, you can see, Oklahoma State. And what I've seen from this guy out of Montverde Academy, he looks legit. And I think I definitely like picking him over somebody from the 2020 draft class like LaMelo Ball or Anthony Edwards. And I think a guy from his draft class, Evan Mobley, could have a shot as well. But I wanted to put somebody that wasn't in the NBA. He would be 23 at this time. And the year later, Amoni Bates, he could be somebody, but I think he'll only be like 21, 22. So that would be kind of a stretch. So I ended up going right in the middle. 2021 draft class, Cade Cunningham is my pick. He is my 15th guy. Now moving over to 14 is another guard currently on the Thunder, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He'll be 26 at the time, and his jump from rookie year to sophomore year was great. He's going to be under one of the great point guards in NBA history, and Chris Paul, who's mentoring him, and he's just going to develop into a great two-way player, I think, on both ends of the floor. He's a fantastic ball handler. He's fantastic at getting to the rim and shooting at a high efficiency at the rim. Maybe the three-point shot won't maybe sustain how good it was this year, but I think there's a really good chance it will, and I like Shai coming in as a top 20 player at 14. I think he could even be higher. It was just really hard to predict this. So at 13, I have my list on the left side. That's why I keep looking over. I have Pascal Siakam, who will be 30. And oh, I forgot to mention, Shai will be 26. So Siakam will be 30, so he might be on his way down from this list at this time, but 25 years old right now. He was an all-star this year. He was an all-star starter this year. He'll be all-NBA second team. He's shown that he's one of the biggest two-way stars on the come up. He's a fantastic player on the defensive end, and his ball handling for what is 6'9" power forward is just incredible. His above the break 3-point percentage is amazing. His 3-point shot looks amazing, and he's only 25, so he's going to continue to get better and better. And in 5 years from now, I think he could definitely be a top 15 player. I have him in at 13, and he will be 30 at this time. Coming in at number 12 is Ben Simmons, who will be 28 at this time. And I know I want to put Ben Simmons higher. I just don't know if the jump shot doesn't develop, will we see him as a top 10 player? And I just thought these other guys in front of him, they can all pretty much shoot besides maybe one of them. And I thought I don't know, Ben Simmons is going to be such a good player on the defensive side of the ball. And he already is already. Sorry if you heard my computer going off. But yeah, he's going to be top 5 in defensive player of the year voting this year, as he should be. He can guard all 5 positions, and he's just an athletic, versatile freak on that side of the ball. And on the offensive side of the ball, he is one of the best court vision in the NBA. He's one of the best transition players in the NBA. It's just, can he be a high-level scorer? Can he get close to that 20 points per game? Do it efficiently. And even though he's an efficient scorer already, inside, obviously, free throw shooting, not that good. But will he develop a shot? That's what's to determine by 2025 when he's 28. If he doesn't develop a shot by then, he obviously probably won't in his career. So I have him in at number 12. Now moving over to number 11 is Karl Anthony Towns, who will be 29 at this time. And I think if the defensive potential, he doesn't hit that, he won't be in the top 10. And I don't know how far his offense can get him. Obviously, with some of these other players kind of being some two-way players, and just maybe being a more valuable position like a wing player, maybe like a floor commanding guard. But yeah, I have Karl Anthony Towns at number 11, just outside the top 10. He will be 29. He's one of the best shooters for a big man in the NBA. He's arguably the best shooting big man in the NBA. And we'll see, yeah, if he develops to be somewhat of a good rim protector that you can trust, just respectable, I think he could definitely be higher than number 11. But right now, I have him there. So, let's get into the top 10. So this player was drafted right after Ben Simmons, Brandon Ingram of the Pelicans. You probably, maybe a year ago, when he was still on the Lakers, you would have been like, might be top 30 in 5 years, but it would be hard to put him in the top 10, but I have him there already. After what we've seen this year from Brandon Ingram, he'll only be 27 at this time. He will be kind of just starting his prime years, or he will be in his prime by then. I think his defensive play went up this year. Obviously, we saw one of the greatest shooting jumps ever in NBA history from a player. Last year, from his free throw and three-point percentage going up this year, he could be a 25-8 guy throughout the remaining of his career, or at least his like prime good years. So I have him in at number 10. Obviously, I think a wing that can just score, ISO, shoot the three, create his own shot is very valuable, and play somewhat of above average defense. That is so valuable in the NBA. I have him in at 10. And he'll be 27 years old. So let's get into the top 10 here. Number 9 is, he's a rookie this year, Ja Morant. So Ja Morant at this time will only be 25 years old. He's going to be incredibly young. And he honestly is pushing top 30 already from what we saw from him this year. If that's what we're going to get from him next year as well, he'll be a top 30 player in the NBA already. So I think it'll be pretty easy to say that he could be a top 20 player in 5 years from now when he has 5 more years of NBA experience under his belt. He's going to improve as a defensive player. If a shot stays respectable and he knows his role, he knows his volume, he's going to take about 3 to 4 a night and shoot about 37, 36, 35% from there. That's incredible. He's so good at getting to the rim. He's so good in transition. His ball handling is so good already. His court vision, his IQ, it's there from a veteran right now. So I think Ja Morant could be a top 10 player in 5 years. I have him in at number 9. Moving over to number 8 is somebody that will be 28 years old in 2025, and that is Devin Booker, who is one of the best offensive players in the NBA right now. I think maybe we'll hopefully see him on a playoff team by then, because then I probably can't have him as a top 10 player if he still has never made the playoffs by then. But I think there's a good chance he will. The Suns will probably keep getting better and better. They'll have a top 10 draft pick this year. And I think Booker, he's going to stay as an efficient 25-point per game scorer. And if he's doing that year in, year out for the last 4 years by this time, how can you not have him in your top 10? So I have him in at number 8. Obviously, if he's on a winning team, I think he can reach his defensive potential if he tries on that end, because sometimes he does take some plays off, but I mean, they're usually losing, or the season's kind of over halfway through, so you can kind of get why. So hopefully we see a full, we see tryhard Devin Booker, both sides of the ball, and he's going to be one of the best players in the NBA. So number 7 is the second rookie from this past year, and that is Zion Williamson. So like Embiid and like Kristaps, health is a big thing, because we already saw Zion with a major injury before he even started his career. So we'll see how the knees, how the legs, how the lower body is in 5 years from now when he's only going to be 24. He's going to be younger than me in 5 years, because I'm 20 right now. Oh, that is crazy. If you put me and Zion next to each other, I look older than him, right? I'm bigger, I'm stronger, I'm more athletic. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, Zion, what we saw in the small sample size this year, it wasn't that small of a sample size, around 20 games, dude's really freaking good. This guy can score on anybody with ease. I wouldn't say anyone. Obviously, he'll have his struggles against Giannis, but he made Rudy Gobert in the preseason look funny. And what we saw from this year, he was just putting up 20 and 10 with ease. Now, I don't think he'll be a particularly good 3-point shooter like he was on his first game where he went 4 for 4, because after that he wasn't obviously as good from that arc. But his defense wasn't very good in the first games we saw from him, but I think he'll develop, he'll get smarter, he'll learn the feel of the NBA game, and I really like him to be a top 10 player. So I have him in at number 7, so we're almost into the top 5. At number 6 I have is Trae Young. Trae Young will be 26 years old in 2025. I think if he could just be somewhat respectable, or just somewhat average on defense, he doesn't have to be above average, just okay, kind of what Steph Curry has been. that might be a lot to ask for him, but if he can get to that level, I think he could have this Steph Curry route, and he could just be this guy who's one of the best passers in the NBA. He's definitely a better passer than Steph Curry is. Just his court vision is incredible. He's probably a better ball handler, or he's up there with Steph Curry in ball handling, and his shooting. If he can just go that route, not saying he'll be a better shooter than Curry, but if he's just close to what Curry was, or Curry is currently, he's going to be a top 5 player in the NBA one day. I have him in at number 6 here, but it's just the defense holding him back, so I have him here at number 6. Trae Young. So let's get here into the top 5. If you did see my tweet yesterday, you kind of already know who my top 5 is. So number 5, he will still only be 19 at this time. Just kidding. He'll be 26. But Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum is my pick for most improved player this year. It was neck and neck, him and Brandon Ingram. I ended up picking Tatum. I just think his jump was incredible. A lot of people wrote him off after last year. I'll bring it up again like I always do. I tweeted out right before the season started, I can't believe there's people that think Kyle Kuzma is better than Tatum. And people were like, what? Kyle Kuzma is better than Tatum. And I'm just like, I don't know. I just didn't see it whatsoever. Jason Tatum has been a top 15 player in the NBA this year. He was a clear all-star. His defense is getting elite. His just offensive efficiency is so good. I mean, his true shooting percentage is still, I think, below average, or it's right at average. But it's just pull-up threes. They look so smooth. His spot-up threes. He's just a really good scorer. He definitely needs to improve his scoring inside or at the basket. But I think Jason Tatum will be a top 5 player in 5 years from now, at 26 years old. And also, I could mention KD as an honorable mention, but he'll be 36 off a meniscus tear. So, I don't know. That's just throwing back to the honorable mentions. But yeah, I have Jason Tatum at 5. Somebody at 4 is currently a top 10 player right now. And he'll be 29 at this time, and that is Nikola Jokic. Nikola Jokic is a respectable player on the defensive end. He's smart. He knows he's not athletic, and he's not crazy versatile, but he's a smart player on that side of the ball. And on offense, he might be the most entertaining player to watch on that side of the ball. He's a 6'11" guy from Serbia, and he's just so smooth on the offensive end. He's the best passing big man in the NBA. He's a great shooter for his size. He's a good post scorer, and he's just an all-around offensive player. He works well in the DHOs, on the pick and rolls, on the spot of pick and rolls, or the pick and pops. He's just so good, and I think his defense gets overhated, or it gets too much hate sometimes. I think he's fine on the defensive end, and he's going to be in his prime still in 5 years from now. He's a top 10 player already, and if he's just going to be 29 in 5 years, he's going to probably be a top 5 player. I don't know. That's just my pick, or predicting for what Jokic to be. So this top 3 was fairly easy. Coming in at number 3 was Anthony Davis, who will be 31 at this time. So he'll be kind of falling off his career, or not falling off, but he'll be coming out of his prime, out of his elite 25 in 10 years, 2 blocks a night, being one of the best defensive and offensive players in the NBA. But I still think he'll be a top 5 player in 2025. He'll be 31. I think he'll be okay. So this top 3 I thought for me was fairly easy, but hey, I say that, but in 2025 it could be completely wrong. So number 2 is somebody that will be 25 years old in 2025, and that is Luka Doncic, who is probably a top 10 player already in the NBA in his second year. We haven't seen this crazy development this quickly probably since LeBron or maybe AD. He is just so good already, and yeah. He's my favorite player to watch in the NBA. What he does on the offensive end every night is just insane. For somebody that isn't the quickest player in the NBA, when you look on the floor, he looks like everyone else is playing in slow motion compared to him. And he just slows the game down. He's so smart, and he's just so much fun to watch. His defense might hold him back from ever being number 1. I don't think so, though, because the guy in front of him is 5 years older than him, so there's a chance Luka will definitely be the number 1 player in the world when that player kind of starts to fall off. And that number 1 player is obviously Giannis Antetokounmpo. He'll be 30 years old. He's already the best player in the NBA in my eyes, and he's 25. So I think in 5 years from now, he'll still be the best player in the world or in the NBA. Even though it's still the world, probably. So, yeah, I have Giannis. The dude's just an athletic freak. He's the best defensive player in the NBA in my eyes. He's the best offensive player in the NBA in my eyes. So, I think in 5 years from now, he'll still be like that. Hopefully, knock on wood, there's no major injury that kind of slows him down. And, yeah, with that, if no major injury, I think I would bet money on Zion over anyone else. Or Giannis over anyone else, that he'll be the number 1 player in the NBA. So, that is my list for top 20 players in the NBA. So yeah, that is my top 20 players in the NBA in 2025. You could also throw some other honorable mentions like a Damian Lillard. I don't know about Russell Westbrook, but there's a lot of guys, and I just wanted to keep it obviously a top 20. I didn't want to go more than 20 players. So yeah, it's Bam Adebayo at 20, De'Aaron Fox at 19, Kristaps at 18, Jaylen Brown at 17, Joel Embiid at 16, Cade Cunningham at 15, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander at 14, Pascal Siakam at 13, Ben Simmons at 12, Cat at 11, Brandon Ingram at 10, Ja at 9, Devin Booker at 8, Zion at 7, Trae Young at 6, Tatum at 5, Jokic at 4, AD at 3, Luka at 2, and Giannis at 1. So yeah, if you want to let me know your top 10 in 2020, let me know in the comments below, or just give me your top 5. I think this was really fun to do. I'm going to be wrong on a lot of these. Watch Cade Cunningham not hit top 20. Watch there be 3 players from the 2020 draft class that are in here, and it's just going to be completely wrong. But you do this for fun, because I can't predict the future, neither can anyone. So yeah, this is my list. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Always drop a like if you do enjoy the video. I appreciate that a lot, and I'll see you guys in the next video.